when we start to do the work, you're walking into a garden full of weeds.
Yeah, yeah.
So all the flowers are covered. All the beauty of the garden is covered in weeds. And so you're cutting down the weeds. But because you've been watering the weeds for so long, they keep growing back.
Keep growing, yeah.
And so you keep cutting them down and they keep growing back. And it's the example, the analogy of the mirror that's given in the Vedic tradition around how when you walk in and you try and clean a mirror that hasn't been cleaned for lifetimes, it's dusty. Yeah. And so when you start cleaning it, the dust comes up in your face and you're like, I can't see, I can't see. And that's what we're all going through. Yeah. And when we start realizing what you just said, the day to day, it's like if all of us said we want to plant, I keep using gardening analogies, but it's only because it makes so much sense. I feel because we're so disconnected from nature, our mindset has become instant and our mindset has become now. Whereas when you watch nature, nature's never instant.
Yeah.
Like,
I call that hunting versus farming.
Right. Okay. Go ahead. Yeah.
Hunting versus farming, where people let's get it. Let's get it and eat, right?
That's a great. I love that. I love that.
You know, versus no, we're gonna
plant the crops, grow them. Yeah. I love that. Yeah, because it's the idea that if me and you said we want to plant a tree, you'd have to come back to that tree every day to see how it was doing.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be a tree for many, many years, but you'd have to come back every day, water it, sunlight, move it, replant the soil. Yeah. And that's what we're doing with ourselves. But for some reason, because we're so disconnected from nature now, we think that, if I just meditate today, then it's, it's like saying, I'll eat today and I don't have to eat tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
Like, I showered last week.
I showered last week, I'm good, I'm good.
But yeah, it's, and it was your commitment. I remember when we were on that first phone call and I was like, you were like, I want to work on this. I was like, how much time do you have? Like, how much time do you have? And you're Will Smith, so I'm thinking you don't have any time. And I don't know how serious you get yet. Yeah. I'm not aware yet of how immersed and obsessed you get with stuff. I'm still learning about you. And then you're like, I've got 2 hours. And I was like, all right, 2 hours a week, 2 hours bi-weekly, 2 hours monthly. You're like, no, 2 hours a day. 2 hours a day. And I was like, wow, he's real. I was like, he's serious. I was like, wow, he's for real. And then, it was, and I'd go away and you re-inspired so much of my own study. And that's what I was telling to you over Christmas, which is when we kind of broke off as I went to London and you've been traveling. It's like I spent the whole of Christmas reading myself for 4 to 8 hours a day, meditating again.
That's beautiful.
Because I felt I had to be more to give you more.
That's beautiful.
And I think that was such a gift you gave me, where I fell back in love with what I fell in love with years ago.
That's beautiful.
Because of the work we were doing.
Yeah.
And because when you're answering someone's questions, you have to read deeper and think more and reflect more. And so for me, I went away from those meetings going, gosh, I better start reading more. That's what's so beautiful about sharing something like that together.
Yeah. It was great when with the Radhanath Swami, when you told him that you were going to be working with me, and I just loved his response. You say, "Oh, that is so great. You're going to get to teach all of the things you need to learn." Yeah.
I remember I was just telling him, I was like, I was explaining to him how sincere you are, and I was like, he's so serious and he's sincere. And that's what he came back with. That's when you know you got a good teacher who knows how to squash your ego and make you realize how small you are. Yeah. And it was beautiful because from that moment, that was my attitude when I was meeting you. I was like, I'm saying this for me, I'm saying this for, and that allows you to be so much more, just allows you to get out of the way. Yeah. And let the wisdom do its work.
Yeah, that's so real.